I'm Audrey Johnson on The Audrey Johnson Show. What a privilege, what an honor, what a blessing to be here at the Riverside Church. I'm almost tearing up because I just found out that Martin Luther King, we all know who he is. He spoke at this church. And tonight is a very important night because women of excellence are here. You'll be hearing from several great women like Melba Moore and many more of these women.
So we have a great panel discussion lined up for you this evening. Some wonderful ladies, really women of excellence. We're going to have a very intimate discussion about the arts, about women's issues, and about really getting to where we need to be in our careers and in our lives. We're going to just talk to these ladies and get their insight on a lot of issues that are facing women today. We really want to, get into those minds of you guys because you have a lot to offer. You all are really power leaders in your given fields. And so from your perspective, what does it take to really make it in this industry and be a power leader as some of you are?
It's having a clear sense of self. Knowing who you are, because there are going to be naysayers, there are going to be people who try to detract you, people who try to make you believe that you're not going to accomplish the things that you've set out to do. So knowing who you are, having a clear sense of what your purpose is, what it is you want to accomplish, knowing your worth, very important because you have to quantify your time, and really being passionate, like you said, about what it is you do. You spend so much time in pursuit of that dream that you have to make sure that you are committed to it, that you love it, and that you are prepared to make sacrifices to accomplish it.
There's a certain level of tenacity that you need to have. Like, if you don't get rejected every day, your dreams aren't big enough. And it's just the idea that you will get rejected, people will say no, it can have nothing to do with your talent or your intellect or your education or what have you, but you have to learn how to pick yourself up and keep going.
You also have to have faith. You have to have faith. And whether it's faith in Jesus, Allah, Buddha, or Obatala, Ashe, you have to have faith. You have to have something that you know is in you that's bigger than what's out there. And that also keeps you going. Where do you see women, what do they need to do? They are struggling financially, and it may be not because of lack of education, not because of lack of a good position, but they seem to still be struggling. What advice would you give?
I know one thing that seems to happen, that seems to be common to everybody. Every once in a while, an industry ends. So what she was saying in terms of always trying to figure out how to educate yourself, and if there may not be a support system, you may have to create one. And I don't know how you do that, except I got Jesus.
And to add to that, it's such an important point you brought up about educating yourself, because one of the things that I always talk about is knowing your business. Knowing what it is that you are specializing in or operating in, the world, the business behind that world, you know, the economics behind that world, so that you can do the kinds of deals that properly compensate you for what you put into it. One of my most, famous sayings I got from an American Airlines catalog on the plane. In life, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. So don't sit around thinking somebody's going to notice that you're doing such a great job, pat you on the back and hand you a big fat check for it. You have to be able to quantify your worth. And part of that is educating yourself about what the ranges are for what it is you do. Educating yourself so that you can continue to excel and do a better job, and making sure that the numbers that you attach are commensurate with what you bring to the table. That's on you to make sure you get compensated fairly. As women, we have a tendency to just not say much and hope that someone else is going to take care of us. It doesn't happen that way in business.
Everybody up here is a trailblazer, and trailblazing is lonely work. So a lot of times you're out way ahead of the pack, and there's nobody backing you up for as far as your eye can see. So you got to create your own support system. One of the ways that I've created my own support system, 23 years in this industry, I always am ushering in the next generation. They keep me going. They let me know what's going on. They let me know what's hot, what's next, who's hot, who's next. I do not stand up here by myself. I stand on the shoulders of the women who came before me, the Bobby Reed, the Kim Hardens, the Jackie Carmen that opened the door for me, and the people coming behind me who keep pushing me and say, this is what's new, Winsome, this is what you should be looking at, this is how we're doing it differently, and it keeps me up with what's going on even when I don't see it. You also have to be fearless to an extent and be willing to walk away when what's presented to you is not up to the standard of your living, the standard of what your artistry is.
I always make sure that I foster relationships outside of my circle, even when it's uncomfortable. Even the people who are my enemies, I smile and I learn more about them, because when you understand the enemy, you can look them in the face and understand how to deal with them. There's always that same individual in another space, in another day.
A lot of times you'll find that women are, that aggression, or you get backlash from being categorized that, like, that strong black woman may come off as something other than what it is. And have you all dealt with that, and how do you deal with that?
A lot of times we tend to feel like, we don't want to be intimidating. We don't want to make other people uncomfortable, so we're just going to retreat within ourselves. But I think the best way to show gratitude for whatever gift it is that God has bestowed upon you is to realize it to its fullest, to embrace it to its fullest, and to be all that you can be. And I say that because it's something that I try to embody every day, because it's very, the natural instinct is to retreat, but I always feel like I know that I'm here for a purpose. I know that I've been given a gift, and the best way for me to show gratitude for that gift is to realize it.
I would say definitely don't dim your lights. Stand for who you are. That's the only peace you're going to have while you're in that environment. And it's your option if you want to stay in it or move out. If you have to start changing who you are and what you stand for, it's not the place for you to be.